Well, good morning. Another day, another beautiful morning. It's not quite as bright as what it looks like in the video, but it is still a very beautiful morning. I love morning. I love sunrises. That's the word I'm looking for. Obviously, I don't know how to talk. But I want to hit on some things with DoorDash real quick, since that seems to be a topic I'm really good with. I'm extremely tired, so please forgive me. There's a really bright star out today. But anyway, let's see if I can actually focus on that for a second. Yep, there it is, in the corner. Anyway, DoorDash seems to be a thing I'm consider myself pretty solid with, and I want to cover some things that will be helpful for you if that's what you're trying to do. So we'll start off with number one. If you have a job and you want to pick up DoorDash, my first suggestion for you is not to quit your job before you start doing DoorDash. Get yourself familiar with the platform and any of the other apps that are out there that you want to use also, the gig economy. But get yourself familiar with it before you take it on full time. Can you do it? Fine. At the beginning, yes. But there's going to be people that's going to tell you a lot of BS about how good they do, or they tell you how good they're doing, makes you want to go out and do it yourself. But again, those are the people that have been doing it for a while and have gotten themselves to the point where they are able to do it without another job. I'm not saying don't quit that job if you really want to pursue it full time. I'm just saying wait until you get familiar with what areas work good, what areas don't work good. If you're going to take it on full time, I think Top Dasher is better because you can run whenever you want and you can go wherever you want and you still have guaranteed orders. If you're not a Top Dasher and you go somewhere, then you're not guaranteed those orders. For example, I'm going to give you this example from when I first started. I got onto a Facebook site when I was doing it part-time. I was not Top Dasher, and this is before the pandemic. I went to a big city, such as Cleveland, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But I went into a big city, and I tried to run DoorDash. And I went there because people said it was really good, and I get there, and I'm getting nothing. I wasted my drive to basically sit there and not get much of anything. I went to a lot of different cities to try out because I was hearing that certain areas and certain cities ran really well, and I wanted to try it out for myself. The problem is I wasn't Top Dasher. In some towns, being Top Dasher just means you can run whatever you want. But when you're not Top Dasher and you go out of town, even during peak times, you're not guaranteed to get orders. Whereas if you're Top Dasher, you're almost guaranteed. They might be crappy, but you're guaranteed the orders. So, and there's that star right toward the middle of the screen now. Coming up to the middle of the screen. It's really cool. But you get my point. And I really want to expand on that. So, do you have to be Top Dasher to make a decent living on DoorDash? No, you don't. I mean, you got to be able to get Top Dasher at some point. And try it out for yourself. See what you think. If you don't like it, don't go for it. If you don't have Top Dasher, you can schedule however you want, but you have to do it in advance. About a week in advance, or as far in advance as you can, so that way you still have the availability. And if you run better that way, then don't be top dasher and be picky as crazy as you want to be. But I tend to want to tell new people this, is if you're going to take on the platform, any platform, get yourself familiar with it before you really try to pursue it full time. I did that. I did it more out of necessity than I did because I wanted to, because I had my shoulder surgery going on. I couldn't work. I tried to pick up different jobs, but I just kept finding DoorDash to be something, number one, I was really good at. And number two was something I can lean on even when I could not do much. I mean, it don't take much to get in a car, buckle up with a bad arm, and then just hit drive and let the door close on its own. That helped out a lot. I got to the point where I was familiar how to maneuver my car to be able to get it to do what I wanted to do with the doors and such. But DoorDash is where I made the living. And then I became top dasher, and then I took it on full time and I quit everything else around me. And I figured out what it took to make the kind of money that I was hearing other people say they were making. But that took me a year and a half around other jobs to get it. I worked a trucking job for a while, and I would hit DoorDash on the side when I didn't have my daughter. I would work in a factory when I first started it, and I would get off and I'd run just a couple orders. I'd make an extra $150, $160 a month before I first started. But the thing is I didn't have the pressure. When I took it on full time, I had Uber Eats, I had Lyft, I had other things I could figure out how to incorporate with it. But that's my big thing. I've seen a lot of people that are being told that you can make 20, 30, 40 bucks an hour. It sounds very enticing. But number one, I know one guy that said he was making $500 in a day. Number one, if you're just doing DoorDash, it's not possible. The best I've ever done is a $400 day. And that was Uber Eats with DoorDash, and Uber Eats paid out really well at the time. So I got about $100 from Uber Eats, and I got $300 from DoorDash because of the way I ran it. I also was driving an hour out of town twice that day to get it. It's a nice chunk. But realistically, I was around $315 for DoorDash, and I think I did $120 for Uber Eats, which is fine. But I also worked from 6 o'clock in the morning till about 1 o'clock in the morning the next morning. I put in a 25-hour day that day. So a lot of people is going to make numbers sound great when you talk to them. But the reality is, when you come down to it, you got to find what works for you. And honestly, if you're starting off, like I said, don't quit your job. I know a lot of people that are doing it, then they're being upset because they're not making the kind of money that other people are saying they're making. You can do it, but it takes time to get acclimated to it. And that's kind of my tip and kind of a warning for you if you're starting off, is you also need to figure out what orders that are worth accepting, what places you'd like to deliver from and to. You know, you get a blackball list of people you don't want to deliver to, or restaurants you don't want to pick up from. But that all comes in time. And that's why I say, learn the app first. Learn the app. And then, once you start becoming that top dasher, then you can go on taking it on full time if you choose to. I would say do another platform with it or have another job with it, because stress is a lot less. Last year I was making, during the pandemic, he was making exceptionally good money. Exceptionally good money. I'd be coming home I'd be working about 10-hour, 12-hour days and be coming home with at least a minimum of $200 during the weekends. And during the week, I'd work pretty much from time I woke up to time I went to bed to make $200. But either way, the money was there. And that's just kind of my goals I was going for. Now the pandemic's over and everybody's more out, you're not going to be guaranteed to make as much money. But if your goal is to make about 100, 150 bucks a day, that's easy to do. On DoorDash, it's really simple to do. I did it last Saturday, and I ran about an hour for breakfast, 2 hours for lunch, and 2.5 hours for supper, and that was it. And I made 140 bucks. Supper, I made, I think, supper time, I worked 2.5 hours, and I think I made 70 something bucks. So the money's there. And I am Top Dasher. So keep that in mind. When I wasn't Top Dasher and I was running the exact same hours, I was only making, on my best time, was around $400 or $500 for a week. Now I can do, if I work, I don't work a full time, I work a part time now. I have another job that pays extremely well part time. So DoorDash is not a necessity. DoorDash is just something I want to do. I'm not saying it to brag, by any means. My videos are not about me. My video is to help you out and help you understand that if you're running DoorDash, you want to run and get comfortable with it before you take it on full time. And I would also suggest pick up another platform, Uber Eats, Instacart, another part-time job, another full-time job. Something to keep the stress off, because DoorDash can get very, very stressful. I was super stressed last year when I was running DoorDash. A lot. And now I have another part-time job that I work. I get paid full-time, and I'm doing this, and I'm happy. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's my tip of the day for DoorDash. Have a good day. Be blessed.